With the Sonic leak giving us Nintendo fans hope of the possibility of Super Mario Odyssey 2 coming out next year, I thought it would be the perfect time to explore what Super Mario Odyssey 2 might look like and the 10 features I would like to see added. Whether it be new kingdoms, collectibles, or even the addition of multiplayer, Mario Odyssey 2 has the opportunity to revolutionize the future of the series in ways never before seen. So today we will be taking a look at the 10 new features I would like to see added in an Odyssey sequel, and what could be done to fix some of the issues people had with the original game. Firstly, let's start by expanding upon the kingdoms we already have. Let's take those underutilized kingdoms from the original game and expand them into full-on kingdoms. Places like Cap, Cloud, and Ruined are some of the most unique looking levels in the game, and them basically being used as just boss arenas is such a shame. Adding purple coins and more terrain to explore in these regions would be such a welcome addition. Maybe they can add to the lore of the game by explaining how Mario's journey in the original game changed these places for the better or the worse. Speaking of expansion, let's add more subworlds to each level. Places like the Deep Woods and Shiveria Town added so much depth to what seemed like straightforward Mario playgrounds at first. Adding new areas to explore within a level brings these kingdoms alive and makes them feel more like actual locations. I'd love to see more of these from new levels in Odyssey 2. Lastly, for our kingdom section, I'd like to see more creative kingdom themes. I loved the kingdoms in Odyssey 2, but sometimes they just felt like they were drawing different terrain out of a hat. Less biome-based levels and more real-life inspired levels. Take Sand Kingdom and Lake Kingdom as two examples of how to do a biome-based level right and wrong. Sand Kingdom took heavy inspiration from Central American culture and made one of the coolest and most iconic levels in the game. Lake Kingdom, while supposedly based on Greece, doesn't stand out and feels more just like any other water level. They need to take liberties and make each of these levels unique and subvert our expectations a little bit. There was a Bowser level in the game, but it wasn't the same song and dance from the past games. It took a different approach by making it based on Japanese culture rather than the generic lava level we'd usually get. The best levels in this game did this well, and some of them, like Lost, Luncheon, and the Moon Kingdom, just turned their uniqueness up to 1,000 and forgot about basing it on real-life locations, which also worked great. I just hope Odyssey 2 is able to make levels that stand out, which I'm sure they're capable of. Moving on from kingdoms, let's talk about collectibles. The first thing I would change is the amount of moons. This is probably the biggest complaint from the first game. I don't think there needs to be a dramatic decline in moons, but maybe we can go from like 880 to something more like 750. Just quit the repetition moons like jump rope, volleyball, trace walking, flower planting, and the countless Koopa racing levels. It just feels like too much at times. I know it's all optional content, but for people trying to 100% these games, these copy and paste moons can really get under their skin. We don't need each type of moon in each kingdom. That takes away from the fun. I really enjoyed Koopa freerunning for the first 3 kingdoms I did it in, but after that, it gets so repetitive that the game doesn't even feel fun anymore. And not to mention, every single one of these moons usually comes with a second slightly harder moon to get. Just make that the moon, and let us move on to newer moons. I don't know. I think Odyssey is a great game, but some of these post-game moons really get under my skin. But something I think we can all get behind is new cosmetic collectibles available in the shops. More hats, more costumes, more bumper stickers for the Odyssey, and more trinkets to put in Odyssey's cabin. Seeing it get more crowded throughout the game was one of my favorite things from Odyssey. It's such a small touch, but it makes such a big difference. In Odyssey 2, let's add new paint colors, or maybe even postcards from all the kingdoms that you can send to your friends. That would be so cool. Cosmetics can add personalization to each playthrough and truly make each adventure unique. And everything you add to your Odyssey makes it your own. The addition of more cosmetics would be such a big win for this game. Maybe even adding a room in Peach's castle for all of Mario's trinkets and awards from his trip would also be really cool. I'd love to see what they can come up with and how they can expand upon what they did in the original game. After giving us countless incredible movement options in Odyssey, how can the sequel take the step forward in gameplay opportunities? I'd say the most important thing is new captures. Give us Donkey Kong, give us Nessie, and give us countless other iconic characters to play around with in this new game. Captures are the cornerstone of what makes Odyssey as unique as it is, so getting these new captures right is imperative. Also, let's get new Cappy throws. New moves involving Cappy would be super cool and make this game stand out from the original. I'm not quite sure what else they can add to make Cappy better, but I believe they're capable of it. I would have never been able to come up with the idea for a sentient hat that can possess things and also be used as a trampoline, but that's why they're the game developers and I'm the guy behind the microphone. Now for my highest request of them all, please add both couch co-op and online multiplayer. If Odyssey 2 is just a rehashing of Odyssey but with multiplayer, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Games like Super Mario 3D World are boosted so much by their ability to do multiplayer, and I believe that this is the key to making Odyssey 2 a true masterpiece. Playing games with others is always more fun than by yourself. Exploring the world with a friend would be mind-blowing, and I truly hope that we are able to see this come to fruition in Odyssey 2. Also, speaking of Odyssey 2, that name blows. Please name it something unique and not be a complete dust cloud of a name as Odyssey 2. It doesn't need to be Super Mario Iliad, even though the nerd in me wants it to. Just name it something different. Anything, please. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and watch the video discussing the Odyssey 2 leak. It's quite interesting and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. See ya!